Welcome to Walking the Earth, India. Today we are in the famous hill station of Musoorie in Uttarakhand, the northern state. So this church right behind me was built in 1885. This is Musoorie's Central Methodist Church. And it says on the sign out front that this was built for the local population of Christians. There also was a substantial number of Brits that would come here when the weather was hot down in the plains. And many of the children were going to school in nearby areas. But this church, they said there was a massive earthquake here in 1905 that damaged the church and destroyed a lot of buildings in Musoorie. It's a very beautiful little hill station. Much of it's fallen into disrepair, and it holds tremendous potential, but it's still a lovely place. It's lush green. It's the very beginning of the Himalayas, the peaks where the peaks get up to about 10,000 foot. So just after the foothills, there's this range, and then we get the big Himalayan mountains after that. From here on Gun Hill Peak, I should say, there's a cable car that goes up there. On a clear day, you can see many 6,000 meter peaks. So, 18 to 20,000 foot mountains, including the Gangotri cluster, which that's where the river Ganges begins. And that's part of the Char Dham, the Chota Char Dham, the small Char Dham pilgrimage network that goes to the 4 sites where different branches of the Ganges begin, including where the Yamuna begins, the Ganges, and then a couple other branches that join the Ganga. But here at this church, a little bit about the Christianity that I'm aware of in India. There have been Christians here going back maybe 1,800 years, maybe a little bit more than that actually, mainly through a variety of groups that came in from the Arab-speaking world, or they were the Syriac church, I believe is what it is. And the oldest church that I'm aware of is down in Kerala, in southern India, and that it goes back quite some time. The oldest mosque is there as well, by the way, perhaps from the same merchant community. But then the Roman Catholic Church had a massive role within India, even before the colonial period and from the colonial period onward. And so you'll see like Goa has a ton of beautiful churches that I'd like to go and visit around Calcutta. And you'll see the Armenian churches present here, which is a very ancient church. And also down in southern India, you can see a couple places in Kerala and Tamil Nadu associated with Thomas, the disciple of Jesus, who is said to have come to India to preach the gospel. And then he was martyred and killed in Tamil Nadu. And so there are holy sites associated with him near Kochi and over near Chennai, if you're in the area. And then there are many ancient churches, going back many hundreds of years along the Arabian Sea coast, up in Mumbai, in Goa, etc. And then later churches associated with the Brits, the Methodists, Presbyterians, etc., that you can find in the old colonial holdings, places in Calcutta, in Mumbai, in Delhi, and especially in the hill stations where the Brits liked to spend time when it was hot. So Shimla, Musoorie, Nainital, over at Darjeeling. But anyway, this is just one example of a church in one of the British hill stations. And I don't know, when I've been traveling in India, I always love coming to the hill stations. I've had a chance to go to Shimla and here. But there's something special about Musoorie. I really enjoy it when I'm here in this kind of foggy, misty weather. We're at the end of monsoon season. But it's just like we came up here to get away from the heat down at Dehradun and Rishikesh, where it was like 33, 34 degrees Celsius. So like we're talking 90s up to, maybe low hundreds, and humid at different points. But here it's very nice. I think it's like 17 Celsius today, and it's kind of drizzly and misty. And it's beautiful when you see the mist roll in, the fog roll in, the clouds on the peaks, and you get enveloped in cloud. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about this place. And there are a lot of buildings that were built during the British Raj-era. So you can stay in colonial style hotels here with a lot of interesting flourishes, you know, like these, the cast iron fencing, and just little details with windows and doors throughout the area. And it's a hilly area, so lots of hills, beautiful walks. The other day I walked Camel's Back Road. Camel's Back Road, it has a rock formation that's shaped like a camel. And it's a lovely walk to walk the mall. And then there are a number of other short walks you can take, or you can go on treks from here. But I definitely recommend Musoorie. It's a nice area. Much more to learn as well. So until next time, be happy.